Coming up on ABC 36 News, a soldier who had just returned home from fighting in Afghanistan dies in a car wreck in Harrison County.
It was just like a big loud sound with a bunch of glass cracking, and I woke up and I was like, whoa, somebody ran into the house.
And the slow economy is slowing down Greyhound.
ABC 36 News Weekend Edition starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for ABC 36 News at 6:30. I'm Carla Wade. A Harrison County family is mourning the loss of a National Guard soldier killed early this morning, not overseas, but on a Kentucky highway. ABC 36's Cheryl Glassford is live in the studio with this sad story. Cheryl.
Carla, 24-year-old Daniel Westfall had returned home to Cynthiana recently after a dangerous 9-month deployment to Afghanistan. The car crash this morning came as shocking news to several members of his unit.
Yeah, I remember when Daniel came into the unit. He's just a good old boy.
Sergeant First Class Nathan Rowe gathered with other members of the 201st Engineer Battalion. Just hours earlier, they'd learned a member of their unit, 24-year-old Daniel Westfall, had been killed in a car crash.
He was there whenever you needed him. If we ever needed somebody to go do something, we could count on him if we called.
The crash happened 4 miles north of Cynthiana on US 27 around 3:30 Sunday morning.
Heard a skid, and then a slight pause, and then another skid.
Rob Roy Norton Jr. lives across the street from where Westfall's car left the road. When he heard it happen, he rushed outside and flagged down another vehicle to help.
We called 911. I had the lady come in the drive and point her lights down to the vehicle. No sign of life at all. Checked her pulse, nothing.
Authorities believe the Kentucky National Guard member may have been going too fast.
And all the skid marks and the distance of travel, it looks like speed's going to be a factor.
Westfall, a 2003 Harrison County High School graduate, had returned home from a 9-month deployment to Afghanistan in March.
I don't think I ever saw him upset. He was always low-key.
While overseas, he served as a gunner.
The gunners were the most vulnerable targets. It hits home. He's just spent 9 months overseas doing a very dangerous job to come home and this to happen.
His fellow Guard members say they'll miss Westfall's constant smile, and their hearts go out to his family.
His family is our family.
And visitation for Westfall will be held Tuesday evening at Ware Funeral Home in Cynthiana from 5 till 8. After that, he will be taken to Clendenin, West Virginia, where his funeral will be held Thursday afternoon at 1 at the Maddox Funeral Home. Live in the studio, Cheryl Glassford, ABC 36 News.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. And police say alcohol could be to blame for an accident in Lincoln County that claimed the life of a Louisville man overnight. State police say that 46-year-old Edward Sapp was heading southbound on Highway 127 when he crossed the center line and crashed head-on into the car of Dwayne Maddox. Maddox's car was then hit by a third car. Sapp was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. A Madison County family was jarred from their beds by a very unwanted and unexpected visitor this morning after a car crashed into their home. ABC 36's John McGarry joins us live from Madison County with all the details. John.
Carla, the man who allegedly gave that family an unwanted wake-up call, he's out of jail now, and the family is still in their house. But they're not going to be spending a lot of time in their basement anytime soon. It was 2:45 a.m. in the Madison County community of Ford when a Nissan driven by 19-year-old Jesse Yan of Lexington crashed into and nearly through Dave Hillard's house.
Then we heard a loud noise, like, we thought it was a plane hit the house because, they was rimming the engine up trying to get the vehicle back out of the house. And we looked out the window and we could see the vehicle right underneath us.
The state police say a Pathfinder took the wrong path, straight into their basement, just feet away from where granddaughter Brittany and friend Kendra were sleeping.
At first, when I heard it, I thought it was just like a roar of thunder because of the big storms that we've had recently. And then I heard the engine revving, and my brain slowly tells me thunderstorms don't have engines.
No one got much sleep after that, but Brittany Brookshire says a nap's not appealing. She keeps thinking another car's coming through the window. Jesse Yan is charged with DUI, having an open container of alcohol, and 2 counts of wanton endangerment. Now, coming up on ABC 36 News at 10 and 11, why this morning's crash could have had a very different ending. In Madison County, John McGarry, ABC 36 News.
All right, thank you, John. A Pike County man is behind bars tonight after state police say he shot a woman. Officers were called to the Pikeville Medical Center ER after 31-year-old Andrea Dull arrived with a single gunshot wound to the chest. Keith Williams was later arrested and charged with first-degree assault. And Dull is listed in stable condition tonight, while Williams remains at the Pike County Detention Center. And police say that 3 Danville children were found walking the streets, one of them naked, looking for their dog this morning. Now their parents are behind bars. 22-year-old Danielle Adams and 29-year-old Harold Adams were arrested after police say they found their kids walking down 5th Street to Main by themselves. Both are facing 1 endangerment charges. The 2 children have been placed in protective custody.
Good evening to you. We've got a really nice evening going, although it's a little warm down in Somerset. They were at 90 earlier, 88 degrees right now, 83 in London, Lexington, 82 in Frankfurt, and in Jackson. That's a cool spot. 81 degrees. Boy, what a beautiful day. The humidity, well, it didn't arrive like I thought it would today. It's holding off till tomorrow. Our live Viper in HD is quiet. Nothing happening right here. We do have some showers and storms just off to our northwest. They will influence late as we get into the work week with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Your forecast for this evening is looking good. Get out there on the deck, fire up that grill. We've got a beauty on our hands. We'll drop down to 79 degrees by 9 p.m. into the mid-70s by midnight. Sunset this evening just a minute before 9. I'll be right back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Carla, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, John. It is going to be days jam-packed with work for lawmakers in Frankfurt as they prepare to head into a special session next week. The budget deficit is the main reason for the special session. Friday, the governor added new items, including tax breaks for auto racing tracks. But now the governor says it's time to put the issue of slot machines to a vote. Beshear says that horse tracks need the help. Senate President David Williams proposed a 10% surcharge on lottery sales instead. And Governor Beshear says he doesn't plan on putting Williams' proposal on the session agenda.
He's approaching this issue in a thoughtful manner, reflecting the serious crisis confronting our horse industry. However, there are, in my judgment, a lot of moving parts to his proposal, and it's very complex.
The governor needs to reflect upon this. I know he's getting a lot of pressure from the racing industry in particular. And he needs to reflect upon it. And I think upon reflection, he'll put both these proposals in the call and let the House consider both of these.
And the special session starts June 15th at a cost to taxpayers of $60,000 a day. The economy has left some Greyhound bus passengers on the curb. To help save money, the Louisville location closes for 5 hours during the day. The company says that 25% fewer passengers rode into and out of Louisville in May compared to May of last year. So employees go home and the passengers are forced outside. Greyhound says it's still too early to tell how much money their new hours will save. And there are some new clues tonight that could help solve the mystery of downed Air France Flight 447. Up next, the latest in the search and recovery over the Atlantic. And family and friends gather to remember dozens of young lives lost while Mexican officials try to determine what started a fatal daycare center fire.
You're watching ABC 36 News Weekend Edition.